Hey YouTube, your LDM here. I'm just going to make a fake character to show people how you do it. So this character is going to be my character from Ian Christensen's or Fantastic Dimensions Defiance campaign. And that character is called Hakon Nine Fingers. He is a Viking paladin of Cord. So he's a big guy. He's got sort of a code of honor he lives by. He has a very bad temper, but he's generally quite a good guy. He tries to help people. So what we need to do is get a fake character sheet. So I will do that and I will share it with you. Okay, so this is the fake character sheet. So first things first, we need the name. That is going to be Hakon Nine Fingers. So this is a name that I chose a long time ago, but usually the name for me is the last thing I do, so we'll get rid of that. Description, just a little description of who your character is. So here you could say like Viking paladin that lives by a code, helps who he can, but often loses his temper. Okay, then a high concept. So this is an overarching sort of description of your character. Who is he? Where's he from? That kind of thing. So for the high concept for Hakon, it's going to be Viking, Vengeance, Paladin. So that's okay, but it's not great. But it's a good idea sometimes to write down the kind of thing you want to get across. So what your goal is, and then you can kind of fine tune it, because the best aspects are snappy, they're memorable, and they can be used in two ways. So the reason that you have aspects is so that you can invoke them when you need to. So for example, if my aspect was amazing gun guy, right? Just as an example, I could say, okay, I want to shoot this guy over here, and if I roll badly, then I'm allowed to spend a fate point and re-roll it if I invoke this amazing gun guy thing. Or I could invoke it before to get a +2. It's the main mechanic of the game is this invoke and compel. So the aspects are a really important part of the game. So Viking Vengeance Paladin is all right, but it's kind of missing this lives by a code, helps who he can, loses his temper. The Vengeance Paladin is not important if you're not playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So Viking Paladin. And again, Viking, not that necessary either. So what we could say is that he's stern but fair Northman warrior, something like that. Something like that. Then you get a trouble. Trouble is a thing. It is something that gives you complications. It gives your character problems over and over again. So it's the main source of your character's problems, and it's something that your GM will compel. So what the GM can do is, let's say your trouble is I charge without thinking. Then if you were trying to stage an ambush and you saw them coming up and you're waiting for them to get to a certain point before you attacked, the GM could say, I'm going to compel your charge without thinking to make you run at them. And then you can either say, yes, I'll take it, and then you get a fate point, or you can spend one of your fate points to resist it. So for Hakon, we need a trouble. I think something like Blinded by Vengeance is good. So that can be useful for him because he, can say, I'm not afraid of this, like I'm blinded by vengeance. But the GM can say, you're going to attack this guy without letting him speak because you're blinded by vengeance. So it all kind of works. That's pretty decent. Then we need some aspects. So these are things that describe your character and his role in the world. So I think something like heavy hitter is good. It implies that he's large, that he's tough, and that he does a ton of damage when he punches people or hits them in general. again, I would like work on that, and I would turn it into something a little more flowery. But it does the job definitely. Then he is a paladin. So I would say that he is blessed by Cord, or maybe a servant of Cord. And yeah, that implies again that he is working for Cord. Cord is the god of storms. It implies a bunch of things about his morality and stuff like that that you could draw on, and it also would let him say heal people or something like that if he had a stunt for it. And then we need one more, and the final one would probably be about him being large and intimidating. So something like, do you know who I am? And he could use that to frighten people. So he's got a reputation in the campaign that we play, and it's you would be able to use this, for example, to give yourself a bonus to an intimidate check or something like that. But then the GM could use that definitely to have people find you and try and fight you, beat you up, kill you even, because you have this reputation. Then you need to do your skills. So this is basically what you get to your roll. You get +4, +3, +2, +1. And the pyramid you can see marked out here, that is generally how the skills go. You get 1 at 4, 2 at 3, 3 at 2, 4 at 1. So Hakon is a big, tough guy. I would make his best stat fight, is fighting up close and personal. Then I would give him physique, which is toughness, sort of physical strength, that kind of thing. I would then give him will. Will is sort of mental strength and toughness. I would then give him athletics, which is any sort of running, jumping, climbing, swimming. I would give him provoke, which is to intimidate or any sort of negative social interaction. I would also give him rapport, which is positive social interactions. I would give him notice, which is a spot check or a perception check. Then I would say that he has some resources since he is the captain of a boat, a ship. I would say that what else would he be good at? He would have some lore in that he is a servant of Cord, so he would have some knowledge about religion and things like that. And then he wouldn't lie, definitely not. So I might give him something like contact because he has good friends. He might give him something like drive, which could be riding. Okay, I think we'll go with that. We'll go with ride. So that's riding horses and whatnot. Stunts. This is where you would usually put a stunt. So an example would be hear my name and tremble. You can thank something about tabletop for that one. This would say that Hakon gets a +2 to create advantages when intimidating characters who know of his reputation. No, it should be 2 rolls. Or it could be to create advantages, but it's probably more likely that he would just be intimidating them. So that basically means that when Hakon is intimidating somebody who knows him, he gets a +2 to his roll because he gets to shout and be scary. Another thing we could do is to take some spells. So like Misty Step from D&D. You could say once per scene, Hakon can spend a fate point and move up to 3 zones instantly, or 2 zones or 1 zone or whatever you decide on. So yes, that's pretty much it. We would give him some gear. You would say plate mail, and it could be +2 to physique defense rolls against arrows or something. And you would give him a big old sword Big old sword, or whatever. And there you go. That's a Fate character pretty much done. You add the name in. This stuff here, this is for the actual game. So you could have consequences, which are like injuries or lingering injuries. You might have stress boxes that you fill in and stuff. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's how you make a little character. This guy is probably a bit more relatable than the Warhammer one, because he's a D&D character and most people play D&D. So hopefully that helps some people. If you have any questions about Fate, you should ask David Sims. But if you can't get through to him, you should ask me, because I'm trying to get into it, and I'm always happy to help get people into this excellent role-playing game. Okay, thanks for watching.